I'm Kurt Shimmers. Every day, fortunes are gained and lost in the financial markets. News, trends, and even geopolitical events shape your financial landscape. Join me and my expert guests right now on Traders Nation. Welcome. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. Thanks for tuning in today. Make us a part of your day. We have got a jam-packed show for you, Don and I do. Jeffrey Small's going to be with us. He authored Turning Financial Planning Right Side Up. Is Wall Street morally bankrupt? And did it kill the American dream? And if so, can we combat that? And is the bull market losing steam? That, plus our stock list. And we've got Bitcoin going on. Holy smokes, it is all over the map. And we're going to try to make heads and tails on what's going on with Bitcoin. You don't want to miss a minute of this. You are tuned in to Traders Nation, and we will be right back. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Willie Nelson. You're tuned in to Traders Nation.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. I tell you what, Don, there is so much going on with Bitcoin. Stocks are moving on it. Some are getting halted. Countries are saying yes. Other countries are saying no. Right, Don?
Well,
yeah.
That's correct. Well, yeah, one of the interesting pieces of news today is that in the South Korean country, the South Korean crypto exchange collapsed. A company called Ubit over there, they suffered another cyber attack, and the parent company had to file a bankruptcy, and that has created a little havoc with some of the stocks that trade. Now, if you glance over here in the U.S., obviously we have Bitcoin trading at 18,000, about 18,002.
Yeah.
For the more conservative investors out there, if you look at GBTC, which is the ETF exchange stock, that is trading at $3,245. It's down a couple $100. I mean, just amazing as you quote these stocks. I mean, it's only down a couple $100, but GBTC is an exchange-traded fund for the conservative out there, and that particular fund is controlled by Kinetics Asset Management, along with ARC Investment Management. So a little bit safer than trading in Bitcoin itself.
Yeah, GBTC, and that's Golf Bravo Tango Charlie. Bitcoin investment currently trading, like Don said, up. Where is it? 3,000. Was it 3,000?
$3,200, $3,244.
$3,244. There you have it. 104,000 shares exchanged in hands so far today. Pretty impressive, since the average volume is generally around 17.7 million. Day's not even over yet. So GBTC, Golf Bravo Tango Charlie, like you said, Don, maybe a little bit more affordable over at $3,100.
Well, you have to keep in mind that because it's an ETF, it's based here and it trades obviously here on the New York Stock Exchange. This is a regulated stock here in the U.S., and it's gone through the full muster of the SEC before it was available to trade. And, of course, you have two stellar names in the ETF business behind it. So it's a little bit safer. I don't own it.
Right.
But for those that are looking at Bitcoin, and this might be a little bit of a safer play.
Sure. A little bit more of an unsafer play, LFIN. Right, Don? This is... Remember the old days of the Wild Wild West? Well, this is the Wild Wild Bitcoin West, okay?
This stock traded yesterday as high as 170? No, 142. Went to 142.
Yeah.
I glanced at it last night in the aftermarket. It was down $22 in the aftermarket.
Not a good sign.
Down pre-market this morning, and now all of a sudden the stock is up $5.
Yeah.
Trading at 78.32.
Yeah, not a good sign in the aftermarket. Aftermarket got creamed a little bit. Currently trading at $64.08. Now, if you had bought it at 142 and trading at 64.08 right now, chances are likely you're not very happy that you got the haircut or scalping, if you will. Right, Don? This is why it's really, really important. You got to be careful. The Bitcoin frenzy, certainly there's folks making good money at it, if not, phenomenal money. But You can get a phenomenal haircut, too, at the same token. Right, Don?
That's right.
All right.
The other problem that Bitcoin is having, over at a company called BitCoin, the transaction costs itself are a little bit out of hand right now.
Yeah.
$15 to move $100, it's a little bit pricey, so that has to be sorted out. So, needless to say, at the moment, Bitcoin is probably the most speculative and dangerous trade you can make in the market today.
Sure. $15 on $100, that is pricey, Don.
Yes.
$15. Yes. 15 points on $100. That's really pricey.
This is what the miners are getting away with right now.
Wow.
The average right now is $28 on average to make a transaction using the digital currency. So this is another area that caught my eye. And this is the miners working out the puzzle right now with Bitcoin. So they're getting their fair share.
I tell you what. All right, let's talk about nations. In my monologue, I suggested that nations are looking at this, and certainly we're not alone. Kuwait's Ministry of Finance says it does not recognize Bitcoin. It's not recognizing it. Right now, will they come around? I don't know. But as of today, it's being reported that Kuwait's Ministry of Finance says, nah, we're not going to recognize it. The Danish central bank chief says stay away from Bitcoin. But on the other hand, we knew we can count on Estonia, inches closer to national crypto token launch. All right? So some mixed national feelings out there in regards to cryptocurrency, Bitcoins, all of that blockchain, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, this is we're really at the cusp of this evolving. I know it's been around for a while, but now that it's exploding onto the market in such a big way, we're really at the cusp of how this thing is going to settle out. This thing is dusting up like I haven't seen in probably 15, 16, 18 years, Don. Okay?
Well, it all revolves around the technology. Look, this blockchain technology is going to be around. There's no doubt that from a technological standpoint, it's great. However, sorting it all out now, that remains to be seen how it's going to shake out. And once again, this is a classical example of where the regulators really do have to step in to take a look. And that leads us right into that there was a trading halt on an obscure stock. Yeah. The SEC jumped all over it and halted trading, and the stock went up something like 4,000%.
Sure.
And it's just a penny stock with no sales, no earnings, probably just the old pump and dump. So, got to be very, very careful. Once again, probably the most riskiest trade in the market right now is Bitcoin.
It totally is, and the allegedly pump and dump that you're talking about, SEC shut it down. We're not going to mention any tickers here because we don't want to drive anybody to that kind of traffic. But you need to know that here you have a company that was trading just a week ago at hardly anything. Now it's up into the $500 range on the small cap arena, and they halted. The SEC halts it because they're concerned about people surely getting wiped out. Now, this particular CEO of this company, on paper, just from this spike, put him at what, $4.2 billion on paper worth. Amazing for a small cap guy, right, Don?
Just incredible.
Yeah.
In other news, last week we spoke about Fox Disney, and I don't know if you want to revisit that or not.
Let's do that.
But, well, if you take a look at Fox right now, it traded off on the news last week of the acquisition or the sale of assets. So selected assets. A little confusion here. A lot of people have stopped me and asked me about the Fox Disney transaction, and Disney is not taking over Fox TV assets. That's going to be spun off into its own public company, which will be about $15 billion in asset by itself. But having said that, Fox traded off on the news last week, and now today it's down 2 pennies. Stock is trading at 34.5 right now, and Disney has spiked up. So all the way around, it looks like this is going to be a good deal for both companies.
Sure.
Looking further into the Disney company, they need these kinds of fresh assets to grow the legacy assets that they have over there at Disney. So overall, not a bad deal. But what's going to be interesting about this is the new Fox that will be spun off, and that will include all of the Fox network TV and radio operations as well.
Don, I totally think that network, that Fox network, should be isolated by itself, away from any of the other Disney media stuff. I don't think there should be any commingling there at all. By the way, we brought you Fox, FOXA, plus Disney, but we brought you Fox at $33.79. So you're up if you paid attention. All right. That's right. Jeffrey Small coming up next. Turning financial planning right side up. You're not going to want to miss that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Forbes, and you're watching Traders Nation.
Welcome back. You are tuning in to Traders Nation. Jeffrey Small is not going to be with us today. We weren't able to get him on the line, but that's okay, Tom, because we've got so much to cover in regards to Bitcoin and some follow-up on some stocks that I do want to talk about. So Fox, certainly... we brought everybody Fox at around $33.80, 33, yeah. And now it's trading up from that. And like Walt Disney, which we'll talk about next, Walt Disney Co., performing well in the market. It really is. It's trading near its 52-week high at $35.86 Fox is. Okay.
Yeah, and what you want to keep in mind with Fox trading at around $34.50 right now, is that when you own Fox right now today, when this deal is complete, which this deal will probably take them 18 months to get it done, as a consideration to the Fox shareholders, they're going to be receiving 0.2 point whatever number of Disney's plus one share of the new Fox.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned at the bottom of the hour there, or at the bottom of the last break. The new Fox entity with the assets will be about $15 billion in sales. So that should work out to about the rough drafts I've seen so far. You should get a new share of Fox at around $29.50. So for those that are owning Fox right now, I'd invite them to hold it, because some of these spinoffs can really take off. So all of the Fox TV and radio broadcast units will be going into the new company. There's other assets as well.
Sure.
But I won't go into that. But that's going to be valued at around, it's a $15 billion asset all by itself. And that will be possibly a fast grower, because Rupert Murdoch has already spoken about making some acquisitions over there. And with the regulatory climate the way it is with the new government in place, you ought to be able to pull that off. So that's another reason why you see the Murdoch clan doing this deal with Disney. And then getting over to Disney, Disney, as I mentioned earlier, Disney needs to grow the legacy assets that they already control.
Right.
And the stock is trading at around $112 right now.
Yeah.
The acquisition of Fox will allow them to bring other assets into the fold. They will own outright Hula. They will have more on-the-ground troops in Europe, including the satellite company over there. What is it? Sky.
Sky News.
Murdoch has been trying to control that. He's run into some regulatory problems.
Sure.
So this is a great deal for Disney, and an even better one for the Fox shareholders.
Yeah, I think it's, like you said, Don, it's a good time for Murdoch to make a move. His regulations get slashed left and right. I think it's a good time for him. I'm also happy the fact they're keeping Fox News and that media empire isolated from everything else. I don't think it's a good idea to commingle some of Disney's assets with that particular asset. It's just not a good fit, okay? So I think that's a good idea, that isolation is going to go on with the Fox News area and all the Fox media stuff. It really is its own brand, and and diluting it with other ideology media is probably not a good idea at all. And I think it's pretty smart that they keep it isolated, Don.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And once again, Disney needed to do something, and here it is. I mean, look, they obviously have a problem over at ESPN and some other assets, but they're going to gain control of the 20th Century Fox Studios right there in Los Angeles, where Disney is headquartered. And that includes, by the way, Avatar, X-Men, Fantasy Four, Deadpool, a host of assets that Disney is going to be getting along with 20th Century Fox.
Well, I mean, and again, Disney already has Star Wars. I mean, we're talking about some serious brand names that they have. Why are they even holding on to ESPN? There's got to be some, maybe somebody somewhere would want ESPN. Maybe it's a time for them to consider shedding ESPN and some of their other lightweight programming. Don?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is a huge deal. I mean, I'm looking here at the tax ramifications as well. And by the way, the new Fox will benefit from the current administration's tax cut.
Sure.
So that's another reason why the Murdochs are probably taking a close eye at this and said, okay, let's pull the trigger and make this deal happen.
Yeah, a caveat indeed in regards to tax breaks. And I mean, I think a lot of folks are going to come into play when it comes to the tax. If we can get the legislation done, signed off, and they're hoping to do it, this week, I think, Don. So we'll see what happens, okay?
That is correct.
All right. So now,
Fox Disney, we've got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, totally. Fox, FOXA, Frank Oscar X-Ray Alpha is a ticker symbol on that. 21st Century Fox. Currently trading up in the $35 range. Liking the way this thing's moving so far. And just like Walt Disney, and we'll talk about that real quick, DIS, Walt Disney Co., currently trading at 112, a little bit north of that. 2.2 million shares exchanging hands. Don, nice reversal on Walt Disney off the 12/8 time frame, okay, December 8th. Stock was coming down last 3 days prior to that, three trading sessions prior to that. Nice reversal off of 12/8, and it too is approaching its 52-week high at $116. Is the Walt Disney Co. Okay, DIS is a ticker symbol.
And just keep in mind that this is an all-stock deal, so Disney will be issuing a boatload of stock to complete this transaction.
Yeah.
And then we can get into a whole argument with the earnings per share.
Earnings per share and dilution, things of that nature, right? Now, I have to say, I own one share of Disney. Okay,
there you go.
That is, I went big, Don. Don, I went big. I went all in. I own one share of Disney. Years and years and years ago, Don, I bought one share. You remember the website, oneshare.com? You buy one share, they print you a certificate, they put it in a nice frame for another $50, and they send it to you. So I bought it for my boys. They both own. They actually own it. I don't.
Now, I wanted to bring up another sector which the people ought to begin to look at if they haven't already, and that's gambling. You know, we talk about BitCoin, a lot of gambling going on right there. And, you know, you've got some wonderful companies over here in Las Vegas. You've got Las Vegas Sands, MGM, Wynn. And if you begin to take a look at these companies, I mean, these are companies that have been around a long, long time.
Yeah.
Las Vegas Sands, as an example, and Wynn, two major players over in Macau, which is obviously the Chinese market, and they are expanding worldwide.
Yeah.
And as far as Wynn is concerned, Wynn is opening and just opened a brand new casino and hotel up in the Boston, Massachusetts area.
Hey.
So if you take a look at Las Vegas Sands, I think that's going ex-dividend tomorrow. Stock is trading at $71.78 right now, and that's another one that's just about back up at its 52-week high.
Right.
Las Vegas Sands, LVS is the symbol on that.
All right, Las Vegas Sands, once again, put it on your radar, folks. It's LVS. It's Larry Victor Sam is the ticker symbol on that. There was a huge expansion of gambling probably about 10 years ago over in Asia. As you recall, Don, you and I were covering that pretty extensively. And because, you know, back in that particular area of the world, gambling is huge. It's a huge business, Macau, like you said, and there was money to be made there. And certainly I think, Don, that we should start covering some of those gambling stocks because, let's face it, if they're making money, and we were talking a lot about BitCoin, there's kind of that mystique with the two, isn't there, Don? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to run out of time here soon, but the other one in the gambling area is PENN. PENN is that symbol,
right.
And they're acquiring a company called Pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
And we're going to be with Pinnacle. Yeah, we're going to be following this one. PENN. PENN.
All right.
PENN Gaming is the name of the company.
All right, put that on your radar, Don. You're right. We are out of time on this segment, but on the other side, we're going to cover a little bit more plus give out some information in regards to where the folks can find us. All right, so you don't want to miss any of that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. Thanks for staying with us. So far, so good. Don, real quickly, want to let folks know about Pro Online Trader DVD. Get a copy at TradersNation.com today. TradersNation.com today. It's still time for Christmas to get your copy. Pro Online Trader DVD, $29.95 plus shipping and handling. And we'll get that sent out to you right away. It goes on priority, really fast, 2-3 days. You can get a copy.
Yeah.
Hey, Don, PENN, PENN. Do want to talk about that real quickly. Currently trading at around $29.14. 1.1 million shares exchanging hands here today so far. Pretty nice considering it's still early in the trading session. This stock usually trades about 1.2 million shares average daily. Okay.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that, Don?
Well, Penn is in the middle of acquiring a company called Pinnacle Entertainment, which is a Las Vegas-based company.
Yeah.
And if you take a look at the chart, take a look at the numbers on this company, trading here at $29.15. This stock has doubled over the past 52 weeks. It's gone from $13 to this $30 range right now. Smaller gambling company. It's a Pennsylvania company headquartered over in Reading, but a very, very well-run company.
Yeah.
And they are not only, they control gambling along with some racetracks.
All right, so
And
there you have it.
They're
PENN.
PENN.
PENN. There you have it. Put it on your radar. Don, do you own anything we talked about here today?
No.
Yeah, I don't either, except for Disney. One share. You need to know it. Thanks for tuning in and making us part of your day. Certainly we'll catch you on the next edition of Traders Nation.